candidate is introduced to the principal instrument of stress induction, bracing. This is a tutorial on bracing. The new cadet will stand at attention without lowering his chin and with eyes straight ahead. He will pull his chin back as far as it will go. The new cadet assumes the position of bracing anytime he is in the presence of an upperclassman. When the new cadet screws up, the bracing becomes even more intense. So, how does a new cadet screw up? Cadets were busy firing away at targets that they were seeming in their minds as heads of upperclassmen. The Sup, General Westmoreland, came down to see how his band of new cadets were doing. Somehow or other, lowly new cadet Jim Harding caught Westy's eye. New cadet Harding, in the spirit of cordiality, asked the Sup, "Are you finding enough to keep busy?" Westy's response has not been recorded, but apparently was not bothered by the question. However, as our classmate Fred Pope reports, I sat next to Jim that evening in the mess hall. The entire Beast High Command ringed the table that night to yell at Jim. However, every cloud has a silver lining. As Fred says, the rest of us were ignored, and we took big bites. In spite of the fact that we were overworked and underfed during Beast Barracks, the Academy officials were concerned about our health. Could it be that too many expired cadets might reflect poorly on a general officer's efficiency report? As a barometer of our health, during evening showers, in between sweating coins to the wall, we responded to the question, "How long has it been since you had a bowel movement?" The hours were shouted out. 8 hours, sir. 12 hours, sir. A quarter of an hour, sir. 768 hours, sir. This last response brought the questioning to a halt. Ralph Corley was sent to the hospital where a foot or two of his intestine was removed. Ralph survived this episode and an encounter with the bottom of the swimming pool where he sank like a rock during a swimming exercise. He remained on the bottom while Coach Sword said, "Leave him alone." The coach held to the statement that there are no walls out there. What seemed like several minutes passed. Finally, the coach relented and said, "Go get him." Whereupon a bunch of us jumped into the pool to pull Ralph out. Ralph went on to successfully graduate. In the early days of Beast Barracks, we were taught the West Point motto of duty, honor, country. The principles of the Honor Code are that a cadet does not lie, cheat, or steal. In this black and white world, a few instances of confusion in how to apply these principles arose. Cliff Williams tells his story. Late one afternoon, while I was cheering the team at practice, a black car pulled up beside the old practice field. General Westmoreland and an old man in a navy blue suit got out of the car and walked towards me. They stood and chatted for a while. Eventually the old man approached me and asked my name and company. I responded. He then asked the big question, "Son, who do you think will win the Navy game?" Having been taught as a kid and a plebe that truth was mighty important, I bravely answered, "Sir, Navy will." The old man responded, "Young man, with an attitude like that, I have no doubt that Navy will win." He then turned abruptly and walked towards the black car, with Westy in hot pursuit. I figured I had probably made a mistake. A few paces later, General Westmoreland made an abrupt about-face and headed back in my direction. He arrived quickly and asked a pretty scared plebe, "Mister, do you know whom you just told that Army will lose the Navy game?" "Sir, I do not know." The response was from Westy was, "General MacArthur, dumb smack." As I recall, I didn't eat much for several days. Nick Lukianoff reports, "It was on the second or third day of Beast Barracks at the Honor Code orientation and explanation meeting that our squad leader was explaining to us that we could not lie, cheat, or steal, and the penalties for doing so. Mike Narofsky was sitting next to me and listening intently. When the squad leader was finished, he asked if anyone had any questions. In all seriousness, Mike asked, "Is it a violation of the Honor Code if one lies to a girl in an attempt to seduce her?" He thought for a moment and answered, "No, that is within bounds." Of course, lying of any kind is forbidden by the Honor Code. After Beast Barracks, we began adventures in academics. The Academy provides a general education in arts and science with a Bachelor of Science degree. In plebe year, we got heavy doses of vector geometry, linear programming, differential equations, and calculus. Under Colonel Sylvanus Thayer's system, we worked in small seminar groups. We were quizzed every day. Sometimes it was scary to visit the Sallyport where grades were posted. The highs were anxious to hold their positions. Those goats on the bottom were thinking that a point earned above a 2.0, the minimum required to avoid a turnback or dismissal, was a point wasted. Before we knew it, it was Christmas time. Our class was not allowed to go home for Christmas. We were, however, set free to roam the campus. A heavy snowfall had covered the campus. The quiet time gave us time to really look at our rock-bound Highland home in all of its natural beauty.
Long and hard for 6 months, and we were ready for a break. It was great. Took a walk around.
That summer, we took our training in the hills west of the main campus. Destination, Camp Buckner. Reason, Recondo training.
When I was riding home, it suddenly struck me. Soldiering at Camp Buckner had turned out to be a real kick. Particularly our Recondo training.